All right, hey there guys, this is Paul from Southern Maryland Divers, and we have another unboxing product review today. Today we're going to be looking at the brand new for 2020 Aqua Legend line, starting with the just baseline Legend, which we have right here. We're going to be going over a DIN regulator today, but we can get them in yoke as well. Stop in and talk to me why I suggest DIN over yoke. I'd be happy to explain that. Might even do a video over that one time. So we're going to take it right out of the box. I have not taken this one out of the box since we got it. One thing to note, if you have had a regulator that Aqua made before, you probably see that this box is slightly different. Aqua has committed to going 100% recycle within the next year, and they're starting on all their packaging. So everything is recycled, and you're not going to see any more packaging that hasn't been through the recycling process at some point, which is really cool. Another thing you'll note right off the bat is that these regulators are made in France. And so if you go and get a regulator from another manufacturer, actually many other manufacturers, many of those are made in China or other locations around the world. Aqua has super high quality assurance procedures in place that they test every single one of these regulators before they even leave the manufacturer, versus a lot of the other regulators you see will come overseas to us and then either have to be QA tested here and adjusted before they're sent out to the customers, or in really bad cases, never touched, and then you get it and end up having issues with it, which have to be fixed later on. So here's the new for 2020 Aqua Legend regulator. Okay, so we open it up, we see right now, one nice thing, it comes with this braided hose. Braided hoses are really nice for hose routing. Comes with an extra mouthpiece here. That is a non-comfort mouthpiece. So for those of you that don't like that comfort mouthpiece that comes on the Aqua the Legend, then you can swap it out if you wanted to. There's some aesthetic redesigns on this versus the original Legend. It's actually a really sharp looking regulator. I like the blue on it. Oh, another nice thing, it comes with this lip shield. So I was talking about the mouthpieces. See how that's got the curve to the roof of the mouth there? That's the comfort mouthpiece. Most people love that mouthpiece, but then if you don't, it's got this regular mouthpiece that you can swap out too. Some people don't like it. The lip shield I was mentioning is completely removable, so that comes off. This makes a huge difference, an absolutely enormous difference in cold water diving. So if you have ever been in cold water, you realize that a couple of the things that go first, you start feeling first. The cold water is on your ears, your hands, and then your lips. This little shield here, believe it or not, up against your lips, keeps your lips nice and warm. I know it sounds weird, works like a charm. I've been using them for years. I've got them on every piece of kit I have. I actually use them even when it's not cold, just because just keep them on there so I don't lose them. So the base Legend, which is this one, this is the lowest price on the Legend line, is a overbalanced regulator. And so when we talk about overbalancing, if you remember from your dive class, as you get deeper, every breath the air gets denser, and so you need more air molecules. The denser it gets dense, and more air molecules to fill your lungs with every breath. What the overbalanced regulator does is it increases the pressure from the first stage to the second stage to compensate for that density change. So basically you're going to feel absolutely zero difference in the breathing from the surface to 120 feet. If anything, it might actually feel easier to breathe the deeper you get. If you want to think about it to where it makes a little bit more sense, think about a 4-lane highway that merges to a 2-lane bridge. Traffic goes down that 4-lane highway fairly fast, and then as soon as it approaches that bridge, because of the density, the cars get denser. In that 2-lane highway, it slows down considerably, and then as soon as it gets past that, it speeds back up. Well, what this does, in essence, is instead of the traffic slowing down when it goes to 2 lanes, is it actually just speeds up the traffic so that it stays at the same exact rate over the bridge and then disperses back to four lanes again. That's the best way I can describe it. It works really well. So overbalanced regulators just work awesome. Another really nice thing about the new Legend line is these fins right here. If you look at this first stage, those fins are super deep. And so what these fins do is it keeps the cold water, any warmth from the ambient water is going to go over those fins and actually warm up this first stage so that it doesn't freeze. And this actually, the new Legend has a 70% increase in efficiency in cold water over the last line of Legends that were out there. So really nice feature there. Just a really nice looking regulator here. The fins are also on the second stage here to keep it from freezing up. This has a Venturi valve. And so you're going to have one that's pre-dive, one that's dive, keeps it from free flowing easily when it hits the water. I'll have a whole other video on how that works. Pretty simple design there. One of the other really nice things about Aqualung regulators, probably my favorite thing, is the auto closure device. And so right now this first stage is completely sealed from the environment. You could dunk this in the water and nothing's going to happen. No water's going to get into that first stage, nothing's going to happen. As you screw this down onto the tank, or as you screw the yoke onto the tank, it compresses. If you look there, it compresses that collar down and opens the first stage to the ambient environment, which is really only the tank at that point because it's on the tank. So one big advantage of that is it keeps the dirt and grime out. Second one is lubrication in these things. That's like the biggest deal. When you get a little bit of water in here, it washes that lubrication off, and then you end up having problems with the regulator inside. The IP gets unstable and things like that. So huge. That's a really great benefit of the Aqualung Legend line, is that auto closure device. When we get these guys back for service, any of them that have the auto closure device on them are just really, really clean inside. We have no problem. Another benefit would be that because it's keeping all that dirt and grime out, you really have no worries about using nitrox with these because they're just not going to be dirty inside. Standard, it comes with 4 low pressure ports, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 2 high pressure ports. So if you wanted to run an analog gauge and a transmitter, it'd be easy to do. If you wanted to run a dry suit hose, you could run a dry suit hose off of this, no problem. So plenty of ports to use. Just a really nice, they did a really good job with the aesthetics on this. So that's the baseline Legend. I'll be going over the MBS and the Elite next. If there's any questions, please don't hesitate to contact us. Better yet, stop in the shop and see us. John would love to talk your head off. If you get me going, I can talk about this stuff for a little while too. So we'd love to see you in the shop. We're happy to show you these new regulators. They're awesome, and we look forward to getting you into one.